Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you my number one exercise for correcting bunions. In addition to that, I'll share a few more tips. So if you are struggling with bunions or you have a family member or a friend who needs this, then stay tuned for this live stream today and also share this with a friend. My name is Jenna. I am the founder of this group, Thrive Beyond Pain. If you haven't met me yet, welcome on in. There is a very simple exercise that you can do that should really help to normalize that joint. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly is a bunion and why does it happen. A bunion is when your big toe starts to move towards your other toes. I'm going to show you in a moment, but because of the camera, I have to talk to you, and then I'm going to point it down towards my feet in a moment, and I will show you so you can get a better visual. But it's where your big toe goes towards your other toes, and it can cause a lot of pain because it makes that MTP joint stick out, and that can rub against shoes. It can be painful when you walk. It can cause inflammation in that metatarsal joint there and is not fun. So if you're struggling with this, then I'm excited to share these tools with you today. So let's go ahead and cover why bunions would occur in the first place. A lot of people think that bunions are genetic, but I do not agree with that statement. And the reason why: bunions may seem genetic because often if your parents have bunions, then you also will start to develop them later on in life. And the thing is that we learn how to walk through watching our parents. So our gait emulates the gait of our parents. And so, of course, you are going to be the copycat of your mother or your father, right? And bunions are more common in women, but men have them too. And this is really good news because we can actually correct this by correcting our gait, by doing some exercises that I'm going to show you today, and by being mindful of our posture and of the footwear that we are using. So again, because I'm talking at the camera, I'm going to point it down to show you the exercises in a moment, but I want to cover everything first. So in terms of footwear, one thing that can really make bunions worse is having flat feet, or when your arches fall, and that just puts more pressure on the inner arch of your foot, on that MTP joint, and it can make the medial migration of that toe, which means when the toe moves inward towards the other ones, even worse. So you want to be able to wear footwear that lifts your arches, so having good arch support in the beginning. But what you want to be able to do is to slowly work your way into wearing less arch support and get your feet stronger. So you're going to strengthen those muscles in your feet, strengthen the muscles that actually hold up your arches to support your feet so that they no longer fall in, so that your arches no longer fall. Best if you can do these barefoot. Okay, I think you can see my feet there. So you can see that I have a bunion forming. It's on my right foot, but it might look like the left to you. And so I've been working on these exercises, and I know that this would be a lot worse if it wasn't for these exercises that I have been doing and the way that I've been taking care of my feet. I think I can even get this a little closer to my feet. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my feet together, and then I'm going to press my big toes into each other. So what I love about this exercise is you don't need equipment, you don't need any props. All you need is bare feet And you're just going to bring your feet together and push those big toes into each other. Now notice how when I do that, how my arches lift. Can you see that in the camera? And what's happening there is I'm activating a muscle. It's called my abductor hallucis muscle. So that's the muscle that goes along the inner arch of my foot. I'm a dancer, so I don't have the most beautiful feet, but they are strong. So again, when I push my big toes into each other, especially on that right toe, where that toe wants to move medially, which means towards the other toes, I'm actually creating the opposite movement. I'm activating the muscles that are going to pull it the other way. They're going to pull it in towards my other foot. It lifts my arches, right? So that's why I said that wearing arch support in the beginning can be really helpful, but you want to be able to transition away from that so that you can strengthen your feet by doing exercises like these that lift your arches. Otherwise, you're going to be dependent on those shoes for the rest of your life. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention about shoes is that they will often squish your toes. This is probably one of the most common reasons why people struggle with bunions, is because those shoes are squishing your toes. And if these were your toes, they're making them do this, right? And so as that happens, that's just going to make the bunions worse. It's going to increase that bone, it's called your MTP joint, that sticks out when we have bunions, that causes so much pain when it rubs against the shoe. So when it comes to footwear, what you want to look for is a footbed that is wide enough to allow you to spread your toes. So when you're trying on shoes at the store, look for that, and most shoes do not allow you to do this. So you actually might not be able to find shoes like this at a regular store, but you can definitely find them online in stores like Amazon, and I will put some links below where you can find these shoes and some examples of shoes that have a wider footbed where you can be able to actually spread and move your toes. So that's what you want to look for when shopping for footwear. So there are a couple brands that have a wide footbed as well as arch support. They have some memory foam in there as well to support your feet. And then there are some brands that are minimal, or they're called barefoot shoes. They don't have memory foam, they don't have arch support, because the idea is that you are transitioning yourself away from being dependent on having a shoe support your foot, because the muscles in your foot are supporting themselves, which is how our feet were designed to work. So try that exercise. That is my number one exercise for bunions, to press the toes together. I would suggest doing that 3 times a day, and it's something you want to do when you're barefoot. And if you also want to add this other nuance, you can stand in the grass or on the beach in the sand, be barefoot somewhere out in nature. It's called earthing, where you can connect your body, connect the magnetic field of your body to the magnetic field of the earth, which can be very soothing for the nervous system and also can be very grounding. Okay, so there's another exercise that I wasn't planning on teaching today, but I just thought about it. So I'm going to grab something really quick. If you have a rubber band, I'll show you what it looks like. It's the kind of rubber bands that you find on like broccoli. Sometimes they're purple. This one's green, okay? So show you what you can do with this rubber band. So this is going to create more of a passive stretch on your toes. So as I said before, your toes are wanting to move. They're wanting to migrate towards the other toes. So to mitigate that, what you're wanting to do is to pull them in the other direction. So the exercise we did before would be more active to strengthen the abductor hallucis that does that, that will help to pull those muscles back to their optimal alignment and placement, but this is going to passively do that. So you just walk your feet apart as much as you can without breaking the rubber band, of course, until you see, as you can see, my toe is actually lined up with the toe joint. So here's my toe joint. That's where the bunion likes to pop out right there. The bone is sticking out. And so I'm trying to align my toe with that joint so that I can correct that and normalize the joint again, bringing it back to its optimal position. So I would hold this. You could do this while you're watching TV, or if you're standing and doing dishes, you can do this. And this is a nice passive toe stretch for bunions, okay? So as a recap, the three main things I went over today, and of course there's a lot more to this, and I go over this with folks in my Thrive Beyond Pain program. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can comment Thrive below, and I can reach out to you with more information about how you can have more support with these exercises and tailor them just to your body and what you have going on. But as a summary, what we went over today was the number one exercise for bunions is to press your big toes together, see that your arch is lifting, see that that abductor hallucis muscle is activating, and do that maybe 10 times, 3 times a day. The second exercise we went over was that passive stretch. So we used a rubber band to stretch the toes, creating more space between your big toe and your second toe. The third thing we went over was your footwear. So making sure that you're wearing footwear that has a wide enough foot bed. I'm just going to show you a quick example. I'm just grabbing stuff today, but luckily I'm doing this in a space where I can do that. I'm going to show you an example of a minimal shoe, which is a cute shoe. It's a boot. These are called groundies. So it's like an UGG, but the footbed is not only wide so that I could spread my toes in it, but it also is flexible. So I can twist it, turn it, move it, and that way I have full mobility, full use of my foot when I'm walking.